Hey, Guru Nation, wanted to make a quick video for you. So we were myself, Chris, Casey, we were in the CRA Academy. We're mentoring the interns right now. So we had a meetup with one of the students who submitted a very detailed report. Detailed in the sense of there's a lot of findings in that report, right? The report ended up being, for those of you who know monitoring visit reports, this report ended up being 41 pages. And so we were thinking, okay, how is this possible? And let's look into it. So when we looked into it, we saw lots of findings. I got to give this student a lot of credit. Most students don't put in this kind of effort to find just about every single finding that there is in the source chart for one patient. All of this report was just for one patient, because that's how we do it in our CRA Academy, because it is breast cancer. It's a little tougher to monitor a whole bunch of patient visits at once, so we do one patient at a time. They're all completed patient visits. 41 pages, bunch of findings. I'm talking like 100. When I looked under the hood, meaning I actually looked, myself, Casey, Chris, we looked at the details of the report. A lot of the findings were of similar themes. For example, at visits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, blood draw was done more than 30 minutes after vitals, where the protocol says 30 minutes and no more than that, no more than 30 minutes. There were others where lab requisition forms were missing for visits 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. There was a lot of things like this. When you start looking at themes, and this is what I wanted to make this video on, and we told the student this, there are details. So there's micro details of finding issues. Those are micro findings. And then there are macro findings. So the micro findings are the things I just discussed. The macro findings are, how does this integrate into good clinical practice? How does this integrate into the protocol? How does this integrate into Alcoa-C for good documentation practices? That's what the macro. So when you're a CRA, you have to do both. You can't just do one or the other. And I gave this student a lot of props, a lot of credit. I said, look, most students don't focus so much on the micro. What they do is they try to find a few things from the micro and then make a macro narrative out of it. You need to do both. So there's a couple of reasons why. When you're in the training stage of being a CRA, of course you want to be as detailed as you can. You want to find as many findings as you can, but you do also want to have detailed comments in your monitoring report, and you want to be able to integrate what those findings actually mean in the bigger picture. So the issues with lab requisition forms, well, this is maybe blank headers, right? This is an issue with Alcoa-C for completeness. Or maybe the issue was doing vital signs 30 minutes later than what the protocol stated, or a few minutes later than what the protocol stated. That's a protocol compliance issue. So micro, macro, the magic is in the integration. Couple reasons. Number one, when you're a CRA and you do a monitoring visit report, remember that your report never makes it to the coordinator. Your report goes to your lead CRA and to the sponsor once it's finalized, and to any auditor. Your report does not go in to the coordinator. The coordinator gets a follow-up letter. So you're going to overwhelm a coordinator if you just have a bunch of findings, right? And you're not integrating it for them, because they're going to receive a follow-up letter that's pages long, and what they're going to do is they're going to ignore it. That's number one. You want coordinator compliance. Remember, your job as CRA is not just to find and to police and to catch them on doing things. It's to actually help them not do those mistakes in the future. So if you're finding macro themes and you're helping correct macro problems at the same time as you're catching the micro issues, that's what the comments section of your report should be. Your action item section should be like a Cliff Notes version of that, only the most important things, or maybe a condensed version of your findings, so that the coordinator can actually not be overwhelmed when they get your follow up letter. Number two, if you're a newer ish CRA, you want to be able to figure out how these two things integrate, micro and macro findings, during your monitoring visits, because it's going to help you interview better for your jobs. So, not just for my CRA Academy, not just for my CRC Academy, but for you watching, right? Learn that the comment section of your report is your place. That's your place to shine. That's your place to explain yourself to your lead CRA, to the sponsor, show them that you're doing a good job, that you're able to find all these findings, but even more importantly, that you know how to fix these problems. The action item list, that's for the coordinator. That's not necessarily your place to show off. That's your place to make sure that the coordinator does what needs to get done, but with them understanding protocol compliance, patient safety. So that's going to help you in your interview, because what an interviewer wants is more of a narrative of what you can do. They already know, or they expect you to know, that you can catch minor findings, major findings, and findings in between. Not everybody is able to integrate what they catch and translate that to making a more efficient protocol, more efficient study, and a more compliant site. So I just wanted to share that with you. Catch you guys later. Good luck out there. Happy monitoring. Happy job hunting. Take care.